Hello everyone, I'm Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. This time we are reacting to Men. What do women do that is creepy? Well, I'm not really sure. I don't interact with people that much. I never go outside. I never see the light of day. I'm basically a vampire. Well, let's see what the video says.
Men of Reddit. What do women do that they think is okay but is actually creepy? Story 1. Perving on men. So many times in the workplace, I've heard women say what they would like to do to a certain man, almost drooling in public. If a man said the same comments, they'd be fired. Story 2. Speaking possession.
Yeah, that's the thing a lot of guys have a problem with, is this double standard of this stuff. Like, it's okay for women to do it, but as soon as a man does it, especially as soon as not as a physically attractive man does it, it's creepy. But it's not as creepy as if a very attractive man does it. It's weird.
Possessively about their male friends and claim men that they see, most often when they think men can't hear. Story 3. You break up a relationship and your friends proceed to come at you like angry mobs for it. Story 4. I've had this happen a few times, but I don't know if it is more common or less common. When I go to a bar for a drink on, say, Friday night, I usually go with friends. I'll head to the bathroom and sometimes the bar will be crowded, so I'll have to slip through a group of people. Several times I'll get rubbed or caressed by women, sometimes in the crotch groin, sometimes in the chest or shoulders. It's not wanted, nor am I signaling I want to be touched, just saying excuse me and going past. It bothers me every time. That's incredibly f***ed up. I don't know how anyone, male or female, would find this to be appropriate behavior.
Yeah, it's really not. It just, man or woman, don't touch people if they don't want to be touched, or just don't touch people without their permission. It makes the person feel uncomfortable, and it's just creepy. It's weird.
Story 5. Touching me when you're a complete stranger. I'm in really
It sounds like it's stranger.
good shape, and the amount of women who would touch my arms, shoulders, and chest when I'm out was too high. Story 6. Not exclusively a woman thing, but my ex would screenshot our text conversations and send them to her family and friends for reaction. Like mundane conversations, not even anything interesting. It felt like a very creepy violation of my privacy. Also, she was an idiot. Hope you see this, Laura. Story 7. Not creepy, but when a woman sees a single dad with his kid and feels it's okay to tell them they're doing great. I get they may feel like they're being supportive or whatever, but the stigma behind guys not knowing how to raise a child is infuriating. I have 50-50 custody of my child, and she's raised brilliantly by both me and her mom. I can guarantee mom never gets random praises just for walking through a shop with her child, though. It's not supportive. It's condescending as hell, and please stop. Story 8. Honestly, hands down, women who exploit the emotions of men. We may not all cry in the movie theater, but we're not incapable of experiencing deep, painful emotional wounds. In general, it seems to be more acceptable for women to rag on guys for our image, like our height, weight, or income, while the flip side being that men cannot criticize women without being a pig. So yeah, women who nitpick guys for superficial reasons are creepy, arrogant, and covered with more red flags than a game of Minesweeper.
Wow, that's a lot of red flags. Yeah, that's the thing. It's bad that we can't criticize women for anything of theirs, but they can do it to us. I mean, women, if you're asking for a guy for his height, don't be surprised if they ask you about your weight. Because height is something we can't change, but weight is something you can.
Story 9. I have a friend that whenever she starts dating a guy, just lists me off things about the dude like she's listing a resume. Never anything about the personality or sense of humor or what characteristics about them she enjoys. It's job, career, college, earnings, house. I had to tell her it was getting creepy because it just sounds like she's getting a checklist to impress people, not find a good person for her. Story 10.
Yeah, those aren't really qualities of a good person. They're just superficial qualities. If you want a good man or a good woman, list off things that you want about them, not the superficial things about them. That can come later.
This is only really for the gay man out there, I think. But having a girl instantly label you as her gay best friend as soon as she finds out you're gay? Like, I don't even like you. Story 11. Setting up traps to test us. Being upset with something we did or said in your dreams. Lying to our faces when we ask direct questions like, what is wrong? How are you? Etc. Story 12. This happened like 3 times in high school. Girls call you attractive as their way of calling you ugly, you know? Like some weird sarcasm and reverse psychology thing. One of those times, 2 girls were walking behind me in the hallway. One taps me on the shoulder, so I turn around and she says, "She thinks you're cute." And the other girl says, "She wants to suck your D." I just told them I have a girlfriend because 1, I do, and 2, I know what they're doing, and I walked faster. Story 13. Maintain a relationship with our mom even after the breakup. Whew, this man is not playing around. Story 14. Maybe not creepy, but for fuck's sake, stop pulling on my beard and arm hair. Like, that shit is seriously uncomfortable, and pulling out a beard hair stings like It's literally attached to my face. You're in my personal space, tugging my hair and causing me a little pain. Ladies, I don't care how fun it is, please stop. I'll make fun of your eyebrows. Story
Yo, there's a shot right there.
15.
Bitch, stop pulling on my hair. I'll start pulling on your fucking unibrow.
Went out with a group of guys last weekend. There were 6 of us, and this random girl started hanging around us like a lost puppy and just wouldn't leave. She was attractive, but so obviously desperate for attention that none of our group of guys really cared to give her any. This girl was just looking at everyone, batting her eyes and trying to hug everyone, but the guys were just pawning her off on each other. Not sure if this is pathetic more than creepy, but if a guy did the same thing, he'd be labeled with creepy. So yeah, she was creepy to me. I honestly thought she was a hooker or something, trying to sell services. The way she was approaching dudes, it's not normal. Story 16. This might be a cultural thing for Latinos, but there were some weird comments said by female family members to my son when he was a toddler. They would call him my boyfriend and ask for kisses in a very aggressive way. When I changed his diapers, they'd stand around and say, "The kid says a pee-pee," which roughly translates to, "Whose is that?" Which led me to always change his diaper in a private room, even when told that, "You can do it here, it's okay. We're all family." One of my aunts even commented on how his peen has grown since he was a baby. Yeah, his whole body has grown. There's no need to talk about his peen specifically. Step away from my child. I guess this is all done in a cute or innocent way, but I never liked it.
That's just wrong. What the fuck is wrong with those people? It's your own family member. You don't talk about your family member like that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Story 17. Failing to
This is very creepy.
realize that sometimes free time needs to be me time and shouldn't automatically be she time. Story 18. You have to install this GPS tracking app on your phone so I know where you are anytime I want to check. That's a serious trust issue. Yes, it is annoying.
Okay, if you are getting with somebody and the person you're dating is trying to get you to do that, dump them immediately. No. You need just no. That's all sorts of wrong red flags all over the fucking place.
Story 19. Comment on my new girlfriend's post. I'll add a little bit more backstory. Me and the old girlfriend who had a bad breakup. I broke up with her because I was tired of the routine, tired of dealing with the standards that she held me at. To be honest, I wanted to be cut loose, so I cut myself loose. She got a boyfriend quickly after. I just did my own thing. Before me and the new girl started dating, she was doing this. I was blocked on every social media and on my messages itself. I believe she was just trying to be passive-aggressive. Story 20. A few of my relationships have ended because my girlfriends wouldn't talk to me about an issue in our relationship, which is weird because supposedly that's a male trait. I just don't like confrontation. Well, the alternative is that I'm breaking up with you now because you've avoided talking to me about the issue for a few months, and I keep trying to bring it up. So, Story 21. Unwanted physical contact. Was out to dinner with a bunch of friends. Coincidentally, they were all women, and the waitress was hitting on me, which involved obvious compliments, which I don't care about, and putting her hands all over my shoulders and upper chest. We all had to laugh about it after, but I was seriously weirded out by it. And were the genders reversed, I guarantee no one would have been laughing about it. Story 22. I'd wager that most women wouldn't do this and wouldn't think this is okay, but my now ex-girlfriend went through my phone without asking for permission. Story 20.
Yeah, don't go... Unless you have the person's permission, don't go through somebody's personal stuff. That is a serious breach of trust. I mean, I get if you're suspicious or something like that, but just don't. It's a serious breach of trust.
23. As a gay guy, women seem to think that it's okay to touch me, in a general way, and sometimes even in a more inappropriate way. Lady, I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. Sure, we had a nice brief conversation, but don't touch me. Don't wrap your hands around my legs so you can gawk at the size of my legs. Don't squeeze my pec, or think that I want a hug despite never having met you before. I'm avoiding physical contact not only to be respectful of your boundaries, but because I also have boundaries I don't want you to violate. Consent works both ways, always. Story 24. Ex demanded I take down a single picture of a platonic female friend who I have known for over a decade and who is happily married to a mutual friend of ours. Said picture was a part of a cluster of 8 total. The other 7 pictures were just group pictures of said platonic friend and mostly other male friends. Story 25. Straight girls who go to gay bars to be all like, "Yes, queen, ooh woo," and straight girls who go to lesbian bars and get offended when a girl hits on them. Story 26. The way girls share really personal things about guys in relation to society and the media would have you believe that guys talk about all the time and just objectify the women that they've slept with. I don't know if maybe I'm just hanging out with the wrong people, but honestly, the most you usually get out of a guy is just that they had with a girl. And
Yeah. Despite what a lot of what a lot of women think when guys get together, we really don't talk about that stuff because we don't want to hear it. We just don't care. We care. We talk about stuff that we like. Like with me, I just talk about video games or other things like that. But yeah, we just cars, video games, fishing, hunting, other random stupid stuff. We don't really talk about the women we've slept with. I mean, unless somebody brings up something related to sex, we just don't care to talk about it.
The only time we discuss details are when you're just like trading stories. But girls tend to immediately report on things to their friends and share details that honestly could be embarrassing or uncomfortable for the guy. It makes me really uncomfortable and creeped out to think that if I sleep with a girl, I have to just accept that all of her friends are going to know every detail about the experience. Size, performance, how long it lasted, how I look. Just feels like a huge breach of privacy. Story 27.
Trust.
The admin assistant in my office tells me to smile at least once a week when I walk past her desk. Go f*** yourself.
Yeah, guy's not very social.
Oh, sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
I fucking hate Mondays.
Story 28. Wife bragged to friends about our naughty life. We live in a small town, and now it feels like everywhere I go, I'm being giggled and smiled at. It's really violating. Story 29. Late to the party, but I haven't seen this mentioned yet. Distributing private photos they got from guys to their friends without permission. I've caught several women doing it, and they'll argue about it if asked to stop. Yet another example of it only being an issue if the genders are reversed. Story 30. Glamorizing the male body at work or in other non-casual situations. I've had coworkers speculating about the size of other coworkers' peen in front of me, talking about marital aids, etc. If a guy was similarly casual about it would be considered highly inappropriate, but women seem to get away with it as...
Yeah, it would be considered sexual harassment and highly inappropriate stuff like that. We'd get reported to HR, we'd lose our job, lawsuits, all this sort of stuff. But it seems to be okay when women do it about men. The double standard is strong.
Innocent fun. Story 31.
And if a guy tries to bring it up, it's dismissed. It's not really looked into or anything.
Being hypocritical about sexism. Hear about a guy hitting a girl? What an ass. Hear about a girl hitting a guy? Well, what did he do? Older man hitting on a much younger woman. What a creep. Older woman hitting on much younger man. You get it, girl. Making small jokes. Funny. Making fat jokes about men. Funny. Making short jokes about men. Funny. Making any jokes about a woman's appearance? Super not okay. Story 30.
It's because guys have a much better sense of humor and we think it's funny. It's the truth.
You too. Always asking if I got flirted with, no matter where I go. Did anyone flirt with you? What the hell? It's flag football. Who would flirt with me at flag football? Story 33. I'm a straight woman, but I shared an office with a woman like this. Every time she found out some guy was gay, she immediately said shit like this. I just wanted to scream at her that gay people aren't stereotypes. The whole gay marriage and Supreme Court thing was happening around that time, and she didn't understand why gay people could stay married since she only saw them party at clubs and just have flings with different people. She didn't know any in long-term relationships. I had to explain to this grown woman that straight people are the same way. Some don't want a relationship and just want to flirt with different people, and some want to have long-term relationships and get married. I hope she understood, but it really felt like she just saw LGBT people as caricatures and not as real people. Story 34.
What the hell's a caricature? Does he mean character?
Being addicted to social media, mostly Instagram. Like the worst one is, my phone is never on quiet, and anytime any notification appears, she looks at it no matter what you were talking about. Then, even if one has better manners, like having the phone on silent and can be without it for the first hour of the dinner, then dessert comes and I have to go pee. I come back, she's scrolling, commenting, posting, everything, and acts like I'm interested in what someone commented. and spends the rest of the night with her phone in her hands. I read through most of the comments and I cannot believe I haven't found this. This has become so common in Central and Western Europe. Story 35. Trying to isolate us from friends, especially other women, and prioritizing her emotional needs over everybody else in our lives. It's under the guise of wanting to develop a bond and get to know us better, but if you're paying attention, you can tell what's really going on. And also, having gone through copious amounts of domestic violence training at work, both as a requirement for employment and as part of the job since I record training, it is painfully obvious that this is something men do all the time to control women. Most of this thread consists of things which aren't limited by gender. Story 36.
Yeah, it's... If you have to do that so many... It's... No. Just no. That's not a good relationship.
6. Bartender here. My general creepy experiences are with middle-aged women. They seem to think that they can say, attempt to touch, and do anything they want, especially at bachelorette parties. Bachelor parties are always just a group of guys drinking whiskey or scotch in suits, talking and laughing a bit. Bachelorette parties are a group of women with every peanut-shaped thing they could purchase, loudly harassing the staff of any place they enter. One of my least favorite experiences.
The only funny part about that is the penis-shaped shit. I've heard a lot of bachelorette parties have like almost every single item they have in the shape of a penis, and that's just fucking hilarious to me.
Was a bachelorette group of middle-aged women who asked to take a picture with me because they had a picture scavenger hunt and a man in uniform was on the list. Seemed harmless enough and I wasn't too busy, so I agreed. After the 5 of them are around me, they start to say stuff like, "You know, another item is Stranger's D," and start laughing and tugging at my belt from about every direction. I had to physically shove one of them out of the way to get out of that, and then they proceeded to act like I was an a-hole for doing so. I freaking hate bachelorette parties.
I'm sorry, no, but if they start doing that, you have every right to push them off of you. That's just very unwanted, and that's actual sexual harassment.
Story 37. I dated a girl who was overly sensitive to word choice. Case in point, one Saturday morning I was out running errands. It was a beautiful day, and I texted, "It's going to be a great day." She called me crying because, "When you say it's going to be a great day, it puts too much pressure on me to have a great day. Now I'm crying." All I could think was, what the hell? We ended up breaking up because it was a Thursday, which had become our date night, and I was going to go to her place. She started crying and broke up with me because I assumed we were going to see each other that night. Story 38.
The fuck, is she crazy or something?
Perhaps not creepy, but I went to a metal concert to which I had planned to go alone. My girlfriend then suggested one of her female friends to go with me. I was relatively indifferent and just said, yeah, as long as she likes the music, why not get to know the people you spend time with? Fast forward 1 week. During the concert, my girlfriend gets jealous of the friend she herself invited to go with me. Calls me constantly, asks if I made out with her friend and threatened to break up. I was hard-pressed not to laugh. The plan seems to have been to send someone to keep me under a lens, which backfired on account of the next layer of her trust issues. Story 3.
I don't trust you around a lot of women. Lady friend, go with him. At the concert, I don't trust my lady friend. I'm going to call him.
39. As a woman, I get pissed when other women basically treat men like crap, hit them and insult them, but whenever it happens to them, they start playing a victim card. Also, I really hate that whole, a wife has to keep her husband in check at all times philosophy. This is why men see marriage as a life sentence rather than simply making their bond with their loved one stronger by becoming family.
Yeah, the saying a happy wife, a happy life, I think is really fucking stupid. How about just happy spouse, happy house? That means both of you need to be happy to have a happy house. Both of you need to make each other happy to have a happy house. Not one person happy and your life is happy, because that means you can make that one person happy, but you're fucking miserable.
Story 40. Ghosting. If this didn't become mainstream in the dating scene recently, there would be a lot more missing person reports fled by men who thought their dates literally disappeared without a trace. This is the stuff of 80s horror movies. FYI, ghosting is not an acceptable way to deal with most men. I get that there are jerks that need to be ignored for peace of mind, but there are a few of those men compared to the number of times my friends or I have been ghosted. Ghosting gives men anxiety, depression, leaves whatever problem you had with him to do it to his next date, makes men resent you. If you don't like a guy, tell him that, and tell him why. You're doing society a favor.
Yeah, we men are very direct creatures. If you have a problem, if there's something you have a problem with about us, tell us. Don't beat around the bush. Don't Don't try and hint at it. Don't ghost us about it. Tell us. Tell us right away and be, direct about it. Because we're not good at mind games and that shit. We don't care for it. We are very direct people. That's how men are. Be direct with us. Don't play games. Don't hint. Don't beat around the bush. None of that stuff. It's very fucking annoying.
Story 41. Being overly eager to share certain personal details with each other, like, look at my melons. Is one noticeably bigger than the other? Also,
by the way, normally, one breast is always bigger than the other on women. That's how it is. Boobs are pretty much lopsided. That's generally how it is. I don't know why. The human body is a weird thing.
An ex who I had maintained a friendship with for a short time after the breakup, we would still talk once in a while. She called me and asked if I wanted to hang out. I said, sure, I'm at home, come over whenever. And she replied, okay, I'm already outside. I didn't keep answering those calls for very long. Also, some girls that talk like children, baby talk, and think it's cute. I'm in my 30s. I don't want to feel like a sicko, thank you. You're also in your 30s and know how to speak properly. It's not cute, it's creepy. Story 42. In the workplace, they have a tendency to swarm very attractive men and act like complete imbeciles. And I'm not talking about young single women who are looking to date or even sleep with these guys 20 to 30 plus years past an appropriate age to date them. Even if the dude is so freaking far out of their league he's playing a different sport on another planet. They flirt, ogle, touch, and harass these guys and give no crap as to whether or not they're into it. They're too busy soiling their undies to care. These are the same gross old witches who will hang one of those sexy fireman calendars in the office, in plain view of everyone as if it was acceptable, yet would absolutely shriek if they saw a single male coworker making friendly conversation with a female coworker, because it's not appropriate behavior for the workplace. Consider themselves feminists, but actually just think men are an inferior species placed on Earth to perform difficult or unpleasant tasks, up to and including doing it with them. Story 43. I find it creepy when you've only been dating a woman for a few months and they already start talking about marriage and having kids. But then if you bring up not being sure about marriage or kids with them yet, they get deeply offended and start to think you don't love them. Story 44.
If you're going to talk about that stuff with somebody, at least wait a year of being with them. At least in my opinion, at the very least, wait until you've been with them for about a year. Then you can sort of start bringing it up.
Every girl I've ever been with has done this at one point or another. They even screenshot intimate texts and share them with all their friends. One of my exes even would casually share my private photos with her friends. She thought she was complimenting me because she was showing me off. I broke things off after that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this next video.
Well, I think that was rather interesting to find out. Let me know what you all think about all those things in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If there are any other videos you'd like to see me react to, please make sure to comment them down below and I will get to them as soon as I can. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.